Hello everyone, ShadowFeng here. Welcome back to the Shadow Den. I apologize for Wednesday. We had some issues with a new camera. Couldn't get things uploaded on the computer. So, I'm doing the same video I did on Wednesday today. So, we're just sticking to our old computer, inbuilt computer camera for now. Anyways, today I'm doing my top 10 Psychic type Pokemon. Not one of my all-time favorite types. That's one thing that made this list a little bit difficult. But here we go. Starting off is Wobbuffet. I know this Pokemon only knows 4 moves. Its attack and special attack stats aren't the best. It does have really high HP though. And I think another reason I put this thing on here is because it always used to make me laugh in the anime. Jesse's Wobbuffet used to crack me up. I freaking loved it. I've used Wobbuffet on occasion. He really is not the best Pokemon to try and use at all, especially in competitive battling. Probably its only benefit probably is its HP and its spell tag ability. But other than that, it's hard to work with. I mean, you get Safeguard, Counter, Mirror Coat, and what the heck is the other move? I can't remember. But it only gets 4 moves. It's very hard to work with that. It's just a tough Pokemon overall. But like I said, it did make me laugh in the anime, and I think that's one of the only reasons I had to put it on this list. So, Wobbuffet's for my number 10. Number 9 is Claydol. Now, this type Pokemon is relatively decent. I've used it in a couple teams. I do wish its defenses were a little bit better than what they are, considering it is part ground. But for a Psychic Pokemon, it does have decent defenses. Trying to figure out how it works into your team is probably the only frustrating thing about this Pokemon, because yes, it can learn Stealth Rocks, and yes, you can get them set up, and you might be able to maybe get a Light Screen or a Flood set up on top of that also, but by the time you're finished setting up, those things usually already dead. So, it's kind of death fodder in an actual team, but it's a decent Pokemon overall. Its stats are okay. Like I said, I'm not really a Psychic guy, so trying to put together this list was very difficult. But I did like Claydol, especially because its defenses for a Psychic type Pokemon are above average, and I like that. I like to have a little bit of a defensive strength in my team. Number 8 is Xatu. I haven't really raised these. I raised one, I think the very first time I played Gold, actually. Was the first time I raised one, and I think I did raise one in X not too long after I got it. I do like Xatu. I like kind of the Psychic kind of bird thing that I got going on there, and the Psychic flying. I think it's a good pairing as far as ability as a dual type Pokemon. Its speed is relatively decent. Its defenses are freaking crap. It's probably one of the weaker Psychic Pokemon you're going to find. This thing can't take a hit from anything. But it is relatively fast. It has decent special attack. Like most Psychic Pokemon. They're not usually made to take hits. They're made to dish out a quick hit. Sometimes it'll one-shot, and then they're usually built to either die or get switched. But yeah, I think one thing I like about Xatu, the overall design is pretty decent. I kind of like how they kind of went with like a... what the heck were those things called? I can't remember, but I like the overall design of this thing, and its pairing is relatively decent. Okay. Number 7. This one was kind of a surprise for me. I raised this thing because I was looking for a Psychic type Pokemon to put in my team, and I wanted to raise something new. Lo and behold, there's Inkay. You got this thing to evolve into Malamar at level 33, I think, and then you turn your DS upside down or whatever. But Malamar is freaking amazing. I love this thing. I'm surprised I actually haven't raised it more. It's a very good Pokemon. The Psychic and Dark pairing is actually pretty good because it's paired with its weakness. So it's neutral toward Dark now because of that. A very good Pokemon. I liked all of its stats. Its moves were very well rounded. A very good Pokemon. It was a lot of fun to raise. Like I said, a little bit of a surprise to me. I can see why the anime chose to use this thing as a villain, because it is brutal. I actually really enjoy this Pokemon. And if you're looking for a new Psychic type Pokemon that you haven't tried yet, catch an Inkay, try and get it into a Malamar. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Right above that is kind of another surprise. This one is more of a surprise because of the pre-evolution. I thought was freaking retarded looking. I know a lot of girls think this thing is cute. I think it's dumb. Grumpig. Its pre-evolution is Spoink, and like I said, I think Spoink is one of the dumbest designs ever. But once again, I wanted a second type on this particular team, so I taught a Spoink, and there you go. I actually really like Grumpig, I mean, especially because Psyshock for some reason just seemed so much more powerful with Grumpig. I don't know if it was, but giving that thing Psychic, Psyshock, Stomp, and something else, I think it was Light Stream. It was a very good moveset, and like I said, Psyshock just seemed a lot more powerful coming out of that thing. I don't know why. I absolutely love this purple pig. So yeah, if once again you need a good Psychic type, look for the black and purple pig, Grumpig. I loved it. I think if you give it a chance, I think you'll like it too. Absolutely amazing Psychic type Pokemon. There we go. Into the top 5. This is where things always get kind of fun. And number 5, I probably could have put lower on this list, but because of how powerful this thing's special attacks was, I think that's why I had to put it at number 5, Girafarig. I haven't really raised this thing for too long. I never actually caught one and kept it all through the Elite Four, but I have raised it in different parts of different games, and when I have used it, its special attack just seems like it's just outrageously strong. I mean, I used Psybeam with this thing, and it just dominated everything. I know Girafarig is dumb. I had this theory, though. Okay? I have a theory that in the world of Pokemon, the dumber the Pokemon looks, generally the better its overall stats and usage is going to be. I know that's kind of weird. That's just how I've noticed some of your Pokemon that look dumb are actually very good and very useful in certain situations. Girafarig, I feel, is one of those Pokemon. It's a normal Psychic type. You can teach it Stomp, Psybeam, Baton Pass. I think you can learn Psychic eventually, Agility. But it's a decent Pokemon. It's decent. Like I said, if you're looking for a Psychic type that you haven't used yet, you want to try something different, try Girafarig. Like I said, I know it looks dumb. Okay, I understand that it's kind of a giraffe combined with some kind of a kid's toy or something. It's stupid looking, but it's a lot stronger than what you might think. So give Girafarig a shot. I think you'll be pleased. Number 4. Number 4 is Espeon. I almost didn't even put this thing on the list once again because the defenses of this thing are pathetic. It can't take a hit to save its life. But its special attack is probably one of the highest I've ever seen. Its overall speed stat is very, very good. And I kind of do like its design. I actually like the very original sprite from Gold and Silver the best, I think, out of all the other ones. I don't know, for some reason that sprite just seems to fit Espeon better. I think some of the newer ones they went too big with the ears and things like that. But I do love the original design, the original sprite of this thing. It's absolutely awesome. I love how they put the little gem between its eyes to kind of indicate that it's a Psychic type Pokemon. Not sure what they were doing with the split tail thing, but hey, Espeon's got a decent design. It is a very good special attacking Pokemon. If you're trying to build a team and you need a special attacker, Espeon would be a good way to go. Getting one, to my opinion, and this is another reason, I think I actually put Umbreon and Espeon around the same place on 2 lists. Probably when I do my dark, it'll probably be around the same spot in the top 5. The main reason is because Umbreon and Espeon are so hard to get. It takes forever to get EV to evolve into one of those 2 Pokemon. I really hope that Game Freak comes up with a different way to either speed up the friendship process or make it easier or something in this next generation. Because getting an Umbreon and Espeon, to me, sometimes isn't even worth it. I do love Umbreon, though, because I've raised Umbreon a lot more than Espeon, but still, it's just a pain. Number 3, Relunculus. Once again, another kind of a dumb-looking Pokemon. I guess they were going with like an embryo idea or whatever. But this thing is powerful. power. Alright? They need to make a dictionary that has Pokemon pictures by all the words or whatever, and put this thing by power. Ranunculus will mess your opponent's teams up. I have used this thing in competitive battling. I have swept teams with it. I absolutely love Ranunculus. And actually, these top 3 psychic Pokemon are, I could probably all put them in a tie for number 1, but I couldn't do that, so I had to put them in some kind of order. But I love Ranunculus, especially the shiny. I absolutely love Ranunculus shiny. It's probably one of my favorite shiny designs. This thing, there's a couple different sets you can run on this. I've run a Trick Room set, and I know there's a lot of people that actually run this thing as a defensive. I'm gonna have to try that for myself, because I've seen it used as a defensive wall, and it's tipped a lot of other competitive battlers in competition because of it. But Ranunculus is a freaking monster. Oof, awesome! I love it so much. All right, number 2 is the first power psychic Pokemon. I mean, all the way back to first gen here, Alakazam. How can you not have a psychic list and have Alakazam at least in your top 2? To me, you can't do it. Back in red and blue and even yellow, if you needed power on your team, there were 3 different Pokemon you could do that with. It was either Dragonite, Gyarados, or Alakazam. And a lot of people went with Alakazam because Aber was usually a little bit easier. It was harder to catch, but it was easier to raise than those other 2. And Alakazam was such a monster, especially trying to take on Sabrina's gym. Oh my god. Forget it. That thing would sweep you if you didn't play your cards right. It was a very difficult Pokemon to take down. I think the only way I could do it was I had to find some way to put it to sleep first. That's the only way you can do it. And then hit it with physical attacks. Since it does have a decent special defense, but its physical defense is crap. So, put it to sleep, and then use physical attacks, you can beat it. But Alakazam, back in the day, and even now, it's still a very good Pokemon. Very good Pokemon. I have one in Oris, and I love it. I love it. And now, my number 1 favorite psychic Pokemon, and I'm pretty sure I raised this the very first time I played X. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty positive this was one of the first Pokemon I raised on that first team. Meowstic. Yes, I know. It's a little blue or a white kitty cat, okay? But hear me out. Not only is the pre-evolution to this thing fairly cute, but if you take the time and get this thing to evolve, and especially if you teach it Miracle Eye, hello, hint hint, if you put Miracle Eye in your moveset, it can mess up your opponent's world. I love this little cat. This thing is awesome. Meowstic is my all-time favorite psychic type Pokemon. Once again, I'm not sure why I haven't raised more of it. I need to get back into doing that. I absolutely love Meowstic. The best psychic Pokemon that I've ever raised, hands down. Yes, its defenses aren't very good, so once again, it can't really take a hit. But it can learn normal type moves, it can learn fairy type moves, and all kinds of different psychic type moves, along with Shadow Ball. This thing is a monster. I absolutely love it, love it, love it, love it, love it so much. I even have a plushie of this Pokemon in my closet. I love Meowstic. It's a freaking beast. So, there you go. Those are my top 10 psychic Pokemon. Once again, if you like this if you like my list here, hit that like button or dislike, whichever. So yeah, I'll probably be back on Wednesday. I'll probably do another top 10. I'm not sure yet. Have a good day. I'll see you later.